In a quiet town in Ohio, there lived a young boy named Jake Miller. Jake lived with his mom, dad, and younger sister in a small two-bedroom house. His father worked as a mechanic, and his mother worked at a grocery store. They didn't have a lot of money, but they had a lot of love and kindness in their home. Jake was different from most kids in town. While others talked about football and video games, Jake often talked about inventions, science, and building things. He loved watching shows like How It Is Made and Shark Tank, and he dreamed of one day becoming a famous inventor or starting his own business. One day, when Jake was only 10 years old, the teacher asked the class a simple question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Some kids said firefighters. Others said athletes or singers. Jake stood up and said, Mom, I want to start a company that makes solar panels affordable for everyone in America. The class laughed. Even the teacher smiled awkwardly, but Jake didn't feel embarrassed. In fact, he felt more sure than ever. A seed is planted from that day on. Jake worked hard to learn as much as he could. He read books about Elon Musk and Thomas Edison. He watched videos online and followed tech news. He asked lots of questions at school. Some people called him a nerd. Others didn't understand him. But he didn't mind. He believed in thinking big. At night he would sit at the kitchen table with his old laptop and sketch ideas. He came up with a design for a small solar-powered phone charger. It didn't work at first, but he kept trying. He learned to code a little, took apart old electronics, and read books from the local library. Jake's parents supported him, even though they didn't always understand what he was working on. They saw how passionate he was. His dad gave him old tools from the garage. His mom brought home old batteries and wires from the store. When they were being thrown away, by the time Jake was in high school, he was known as Contrail, the inventor. In his town, the first break in his junior year, Jake entered the state Young Inventors competition. He showed his updated solar charger, now able to charge a phone in under 2 hours, using only sunlight. The judges were impressed, and Jake won second place. He also got a small scholarship and, more importantly, a mentor, a retired engineer named Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter had worked for a big tech company before retiring. He saw potential in Jake and began meeting with him once a week. He taught Jake how to write business plans, how to improve designs, and how to talk to investors. Jake soaked up every bit of knowledge. He started thinking even bigger. Amster, what if, he said to Mr. Carter one day, Mister, we could create small solar panels for school laptops, so kids who don't have electricity at home can still study. Mr. Carter smiled. Musters that big thinking, Jake. Now let's make it real. College and challenges. Jake got into a state university with a scholarship for engineering. College life was hard at first. He missed home. He didn't always fit in with the other students. Some kids drove nice cars and wore expensive clothes. Jake still wore clothes from the thrift store and worked part-time in the campus cafeteria to earn extra money, but he didn't let that stop him. He joined tech clubs, met with professors, and kept working on his solar panel ideas. In his second year, he met Olivia, a graphic designer who loved clean energy just as much as Jake. She helped him design a brand and create a website for his project. SunSnap, portable solar for students. Together they built a team of students, coders, marketers, engineers. They entered contests, presented at startup events, and won small grants. Each win made them believe more in what they were building, but there were setbacks too. Their prototype once caught fire in the lab. They got rejected by 3 investors in 1 week. At one point, Jake even thought about quitting and getting a normal job. But Olivia reminded him, "Not doing this just for you. You are doing this for every kid who wants to learn, no matter where they live." Jake nodded. That was all he needed to hear. The breakthrough in his final year of college. Jake's team was invited to pitch SunSnap at a national startup competition in New York City. It was the biggest stage they had ever been on. Jake practiced for weeks. He rewrote, and rehearsed his pitch 100 times. When the big day came, he stood on the stage and looked out at a room full of investors and said he still liked walking, building things with his hands, and visiting his family back in Ohio. But more than anything, he loved hearing from students who said, "Monspor, because of SunSnap, I could finish my homework. Empore, believe I can go to college too." Jake had dreamed big, and now he was living that dream. Not because he was the smartest or the richest, but because he believed in something bigger than himself. Final thoughts Jake often told students when he visited schools. For it doesn't matter where you are from. It does matter if people laugh at your ideas. What matters is that you keep thinking big and never stop trying. The world needs dreamers, builders, and believers. Be all 3. Moral of the story. Big thinking brings big success. No matter your background, no matter how small your town, or how limited your resources. When you dream big, work hard and stay true to your mission, success will follow.